What is up, YouTube? MK48 here. We're going to be talking about our little review on YCS Ghent and YCS Niagara Falls. I love these double YCS weekends. They're a fun little place where we get to look how America differs from much larger events. So 1,700 people coming out to Ghent, 700 coming out for YCS Niagara Falls, which is actually pretty interesting. So we're going to give our little event summary on both and kind of go what happened. So let's dig on into this, shall we? 1,700 players coming out to YCS Ghent this weekend, and your top cut was pretty interesting. So here's our little event summary for what we got. So the pregame for YCS Ghent, we saw that Sky Strikers and Lunalight Orcust were probably the best picks coming out for this event, which is pretty interesting because when you look at the fundamental structuring for Europe, they are huge fans of Striker. Meanwhile, America is a fan of going second Orcust. But we get into top cut here, top 32. We see 12 Orcust decks, which was actually pretty interesting, considering just the high representation. We had one Cyber Dragon Orcust, so for those of you that don't know, the Blair Hunter Special has been doing a lot of work, and then we had 5 Lunalight Orcust. Now, Lunalight Orcust is actually pretty bonkers considering all of the not once per turn restrictions, the sending for cost, all of this fun little degeneracy that we kind of see out of this deck. To no surprise, we saw 6 Sky Striker in top 32. 4 Thunder, 2 copies of Salamangreat, which was kind of also interesting to see, considering that a lot of players, I don't know, Salad's representation just keeps going straight down into the gutter, and I'm not exactly sure really why. The deck is still very good, but I guess players just, why mess around with it when you can play Orcust? You know what I mean? And then the real big shocker out of YCS Ghent was the one Spiral player that made it all the way up from the ashes and made it to top cut, which was very interesting to see. Because considering Spiral's like dark format past here, it's pretty much been in the tier 3 category. Like, the board you make is extremely good. I know earlier in the day we saw Spiral Orcust, and basically you do full Spiral combo, and then you go do Orcust combo at the end of it, because, both combos aren't really restrictive. So in a turn where you're kind of just free to do whatever you want, like, the board you make is just ridiculous at the end of it. So there was that. And then we had 7 other decks, which weren't mentioned, which, I mean, probably straight to the gutter with your rogue decks. There's not much to really say in that category. Really advancing up from there for Ghent, like, there's only so much that you really get the chance to see out of this event. Lunalight Orcust taking it down, which, I mean, okay, guys, let's be honest here for a second. If you didn't expect Lunalight Orcust or Salamangreat to win the European YCS, you were probably sadly misinformed about the entire just breakdown for this event. Because, like I said, when you look at Europe, you're going to be seeing Lunalight Orcust and Sky Striker as your best represented decks. So there was that. Cyber Dragon Orcust did relatively well, advancing through top cut as well. Now, the thing that we care about, the American YCS. Nah, Ghent had more people. I'd almost consider Ghent more of a real event than YCS Niagara. So we had 729 players coming out for Niagara Falls. Now, our top 32 breakdown here kind of reminds me a little light about Europe, but in America, we gotta love our Orcust. 13 Orcust in top 32 at this event, which is a lot. 4 of those were Cyber Dragon, 2 of those were Lunalight, and then we had 1 Crusadia Orcust. Now, we didn't see Crusadia Orcust in Europe at all, and we also only saw 1 Cyber Dragon Orcust in Europe. Meanwhile, in America, we see 4 of them things in top cut. Once again, Blair Hunter lost in top 32 at YCS Niagara too, which was kind of sad. But that diversity amongst the builds for Orcust, like, let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. This tech engine is so diversely crazy. It's kind of nuts. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them do something to Orcust in the TCG ban list because America's been very prone to wanting to clean up very generic things. And when you look at a top cut like this, and you see you have at least 4 different versions of the same Orcust deck, it's kind of scary, actually. Moving along through top cut, we had 7 Sky Striker. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. 4 Salamangreat here. In the long run here, America's getting more representation for Salad, which is pretty interesting. Now, the spicy thing in our top cut, Gren Maju decided that it wasn't done at its last YCS. It wanted to do another run back here. And eventually, Gren Maju ended up winning, but we'll talk about that shortly here. So, 2 Gren Maju in top cut. I don't know how or why or just what is up with Gren Maju being this random deck that just comes out of nowhere. Do players just not know how to handle this? Like, because Gren Maju just, he sits on the table, he's like, hey, I'm fat, what's up? And then he just destroys people. So, that's interesting. We had 1 Altergeist. Okay. Then we had 1 Danger Lunalight. Now, I don't know why you're not playing Orcust in your Lunalight deck, because that just seems like a really bad idea. I get that the Lunalight boss monsters themselves, they're really good. I believe one of them's a Towers. It's basically untargetable and things like that. So I guess if decks don't have outs to things like that, then that would make sense as to why that's all success. We also had a Cyber Dragon. This is not your standard Orcust Cyber Dragon either. This is the pure version of Cyber Dragon that looks to break boards and pretty much just going second, special summon Cyber Dragon. Yeehaw, we did it, fam. Like, is that what it's like to be a Cyber Dragon player? Yeehaw, special summon, contact out. The voice in my head won't talk to me.
Very busy.
So, going second Cyber Dragons, I believe, here. And then we had 1 Subterror. Subterror is going to continue. So this deck is always going to be like tier 2 solidly forever. And the deck will continuously see top cut. There's no reason as to why it won't. It'll always be a contender. And then America had 1 Thunder Dragon. What the heck happened to Thunder here? Looking at the numbers, though, Thunder got shafted this event. Like, I guess players just know what they're doing against the deck now. Like, you can only do so much with huge boss monsters, I guess. But, yikes, if you're a Thunder player, this isn't a good time for you. Like, and this is, Crusadia Thunder disappeared too. It was just one Thunder Dragon. Now, as we advance up through top cut, we get to top 8. Top 8 was 4 Orcust. 2 of which were both Cyber Dragon, and then 1 Lunalight. Man, that diversity of Orcust top cut got destroyed. Then we had 1 Sky Striker, pretty okay. 1 Salamangreat. Then we had 1 Gren Maju, and that pure Cyber Dragon deck. Man, when Cyber Dragon decides it wants to run back an event, it does it. Also, pure Cyber Dragons versus Orcust is kind of a nightmare. And then we got into top 4. Top 4 was pretty interesting. We actually got the chance to see Salad make top 4, which was pretty interesting. And then we just kind of saw a little bit more diversity. And then we hit the finals. The finals were Gren Maju versus Lunalight Orcust. Now, out of Europe, Lunalight Orcust ended up winning the event. America ended up getting ran back by Gren Maju, actually, which it's kind of a scary thought at the end of the day when you think about it, because Gren Maju has 2 tops in America. The deck's kind of irrelevant in Europe. Europe's just kind of like, we're not going to fall for that. And then you kind of come over here to an event and you just see that America's loving this. Like, these are big differences in our metagame, and it's kind of scary. Seeing that metagame trends in one part of the world might not necessarily affect another. Meanwhile, you know, America, Cyber Dragon Orcust going second Orcust. Gren Maju trends. You look over at Europe, Lunalight Orcust, 100%. Like, originated there, it's doing pretty well from what I've seen. you know, more of a Sky Striker heavy format. Like, I don't know, just those little casual metagame trends really make or break everything. So, really interesting weekend. If you're a Gren Maju player, congratulations to everybody that played this weekend. And personally, I'm going to just end this video on yikes. That's all I got, guys. Peace out. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.